At the Old Haunted House by Helen Ketteman, illustrated by Nate Ragg. At the old haunted house, in a room with no sun, lived a warty green witch and her wee witchy one. "Spell!" cried the witch. "Poof!" cried the one, and they both practiced spells in the room with no sun. At the old haunted house, where a cold draught blew, lived a big monster and her wee monsters too. "Stir!" called the ma. "We stir!" cried the two, and they whirred and they stirred while the cold draughts blew. By the old haunted house in the dead hollow tree lived a scrawny black cat and her wee kittens three. "Scratch!" cried the mother. "Meow!" cried the three, and they scratched and they growled in the dead hollow tree. At the old haunted house with the squeaky old floor lived a green paw goblin and his wee goblins four. "Dust!" cried the paw. "We dust!" said the four, and they spread lots of dust on the squeaky old floor. At the old haunted house, where scary things jive, lived a ma werewolf and her wee wolfies five. "Howl!" cried the ma. "Arroo!" cried the five, and they yowled and they howled where the scary things jive. In the old haunted house, in a vault made of bricks, lived a papa vampire and his little vamps six. "Show fangs!" papa cried. "Hiss!" went the six, and they snarled and they shrieked in the vault made of bricks. At the old haunted house, teaching a lesson, was a hairy mom bat and her bitty bats seven. "Dive deep!" cried the mom. "Flip, flap!" went the seven, and they dipped and they dove in their dip-diving lesson. By the old haunted house near the graveyard gate lived a spooky dad ghost and his wee ghosties eight. "Haunt!" cried the dad. "Boo!" cried the eight, and they booed and they floated through the graveyard gate. At the old haunted house, half covered with vines, lived a mummy mommy and her wee mummies nine. "Mix!" cried the mummy. "We mix!" cried the nine, and they stirred and they mixed in the house with the vines. At the old haunted house in the dusty old den lived a fat ma spider and her wee spiders 10. "Spin!" cried the ma. "Weave ho!" cried the 10, and they spun sticky webs in the dusty old den. At the old haunted house, the front door creaked. "Trick or treat!" yelled the children. The ghost shrieked, "Eek!" "Come in!" cried Ma Mummy. "The monsters made stew, the mummies made cake, the witches zapped brew." The creatures all grinned as they struck up the band, and the spiders all swung on sticky web strands. The ghosts floated as the music played, black cats scratched and werewolves bayed. The vampire band played music all night, and they all had fun at the Halloween Fright.